All right, Shalom. I want to start by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh Shema Shabbat Shema Dash. Double honor to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to that I came out there pushing the word of sincerity and the truth. Yeah, I just want to do a lesson in regards to this. These agents that's going around, because this is pretty much like a soft martial law. You know, and they're carrying around judgment, you know, against particularly you tribes, you know, the Northern Kingdom, you know. There's been thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of the Northern Kingdom that's been pretty much pushed out of their apartment complexes, their residences, gathered up and brought to their native countries, you know, and just left there. And this is the things that we be speaking about with the so-called white man and his aggression, his wrath, his anger, you know, how he's not going to let up off the gas when it comes to you tribes. You know, this man's not fucking playing, you know, and it's only going to get gradually worse. So it says 300 ICE agents swarmed Chicago apartment complex in Venezuelan gang raid. ICE agents swarmed the Chicago apartment complex late Tuesday night to carry out an immigration raid targeting suspected Trinidad Uruguayan gang members. Residents living in a Chicago apartment complex were awoken to a late-night immigration raid led by U.S. federal agents. Federal agents were seen rappelling from a Black Hawk helicopter onto the rooftop of a 5-story apartment complex in Chicago's South Shore neighborhood during the operation, which was carried out late Tuesday. At least 300 United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, FBI, and Border Patrol agents launched a sweeping operation designed to target suspected Trinidad Uruguayan gang members. The Venezuelan gang is a highly organized crime syndicate that U.S. authorities have accused of trafficking, violence, and other cross-border crimes. It comes after Trump shockingly deployed the military to another war-ravaged state no one expected. Yeah, and see, our people so fucking naive. You know, they'll put themselves in a position to get caught out there through their simplicity, you know. And look, what's this? Men over 55 are ditching hearing aid. Oh, it looked like a damn chip in their head. I was about to say. You know, they don't believe this man is really going to take it there. And we've been talking about this for years. Like, this man is the damn devil, you know. And it's not that they didn't deserve it, because our people do everything in the favor for the white man to put the baton up the asses of you people, you know, kick you in your shit, your groin, lock you up, put you anywhere you want you in these different internment camps or whatnot, and just leave you there. And I've heard stories of them actually just straight up killing you tribes when they're supposed to ask these illegals, you know. Read a little bit down. The individuals that we are going after, Trinidad Aragua, is one of the most violent gangs that the United States is plagued with right now. They traffic in arms, they traffic in humans, they have a little regard for life, he said. We know there are weapons. There have been reports, anyways, of them taking away units of this apartment complex that were going to hit via force with guns. Bovino continued. So, yeah, that's what we got. Major U.S. military base locked down and staff told seek shelter. Yeah, so this is one amongst many. You know, we already see that we're in the government shutdown. The powers that be are going to push harder to crack down upon you people. You know, And 2/3 is going to feel the wrath of the so-called white man because the Lord is lining you up to the sword. A lot of the people don't want to listen. They think they know every fucking thing. You know, they hear our statements that we come with, us blowing the trumpet and giving out the warning, and they bat the eye. Like, you know, he's not going to do this. He's not going to do that. You know, the white man is, you know, caring individual or whatever. But it's a lot of people now, they're in a fear for their fucking life, you know, and they're scrambling and they're trying to figure out what's the alternative. What should we do? Well, there's only one option. The Lord is boiling these things down to the one thing that you can do is trust in Yahweh Shema Shah. You know? So this is Isaiah 10:1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous. Matter of fact, that's what I want. That's a good one, but I'm going to go ahead and read it. It's actually verse 5, the point. And that right grievousness which they have prescribed, verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widow may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. Yeah, so this man is bringing a robust judgment, full body judgment into these cities, all right, these counties, throughout these states, you know, and when they're done doing this, they're gonna push out heavier judgments. You know, this isn't the thing where he's gonna let up. You know, they're speaking about jobs. Now he's saying all these federal workers are being furloughed, and there's a large portion that they're talking about being furloughed. You know, I think it was just 100. They just said 100,000 already resigned. A lot of people like, nah, they were pretty much coerced into leaving their so-called cushy positions. They didn't resign, but they're gonna spin a narrative that they resigned. And even if they did resign, that's a large number. You know, you just had this situation where all these federal workers, I think they just had some type of meeting, which I might, Lord willing, go into that. And they made a pledge, you know, with I think it was the rats, you know. So a lot of people are pretty much being put in their fucking place. Excuse my French, but they're being put in their place, and they're getting to a point where they can't protest, they can't riot, they can't speak, you know, against, or you're gonna be reprimanded like this rapper T.I. expeditiously. No, you're gonna get reprimanded speedily. And this is the prophecy, verse 5. O Assyrian, the rod of mine anger, and the staff in their hand is mine indignation. Yeah, because this is all by design by the Heavenly Father. The Most High uses the so-called white man as his whipping stick. All right, pursuing to Psalm 17:13. All right. He's the sword. I will send him against a hypocritical nation, and against the people of my wrath will I give him a charge to take the spoil and to take the prey and to tread them down like the mire of the streets. Yeah, so the Lord is using him against you tribes, because you tribes are nothing but fucking actors, man. Y'all act like y'all really want change. You want peace. But the amount of time, like for instance, these gangs, they're giving this man a license to go through these different cities. All right. And then when they're hauled up, now they want to shed tears, you know, or they want to give their justifications of, oh, it's injustice. It's an injustice. It's unfair. Well, the white man doesn't play fair. All right. When has he said anywhere in history that he's going to play by a fair game? Life isn't fair, you know. And we're going to see the severity of who this man really is, the type of time that he really is on, and these next couple coming weeks and months. You know, he's not playing with you people. He's out for blood. He's a bloody man. He has a bloodlust to get you people. All right. And he's pushing the engine. All right. He's coming through with these, you know, these troops marching, treading down, fully automatic weapons. You know, it's a lot of wild killings that's been taking place from authorities to the people. I just seen this one thing where police just ran this guy over, you know, chasing down these illegals, like I said, beating them down and things of that nature. We're in some very, very heavy times, and we told these people that we are in the valley of the shadow of death. Death looms constantly around us, and we have to think with clear lenses, you know, keep our minds on point, you know, and be ready for the worst case scenarios, you know, keep our head on a swivel. But yet and still our people think everything is a fucking game. Everything is something to be played with until they're caught out there, you know. But this is judgment. We live in heavy times of judgment. Us brothers just pray. We're in the day of atonement. You know, keep our heads in a clean space. You know, wrap our mind around these prophecies. You know, and get ready, because we're in heavy war times. You know, this is not a time of peace. This is a time of war. You know, so with that, I'm going to end it by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Shema, Shabbat, Shem, Kakodash. Double honor to the apostle, others, a great millstone. Shalom, Akim.